Just making it here to the mission, San Luis Rey, king of the missions. And we're just gonna walk around and see what we can find and just explore the area and see the history that's here. King of the missions. Found a bell. This area is like the ruins of like the barracks that used to be here. Some Mormon battalion. You can see how they like made it out of adobe brick. It's all just like mud, straw, and yeah, crazy stuff. Now it's just squirrels living in there. Here's a little map of the mission. Gives like a little layout of everything. We're right here. See the whole mission. We're about to go into the cemetery area. And back in the day, I guess Disney had some Zorro films filmed here, right here. Some old 1950 movies. Yeah, we'll go check out the cemetery. I don't know, something about cemeteries that are kind of peaceful and quiet, and actually, I don't know, I think they're kind of nice. Go look at some names on here, see if we can find some old mission people who used to live here. A bunch of pepper trees. Supposedly they're supposed to be one of the first pepper trees in California here, but I don't think it's this one. We'll go check it out and see what's in here. All these graves, fairly recent, kind of from 1920 to 1990. But I guess this marker indicates like the end of the old burial. I guess like in that area is like the older one, and then in this area is like all like new burials and graves and stuff. Looks like they got a couple digging right there.
But you see in that, can you see it, that cross?
Oh, which one? Oh yeah, the marker. That's, I was just.
Well, that's dedicated to the Native Americans.
Okay.
When the mission was founded, a kind of almost like a village of Native people lived right there, and that this was their cemetery.
Okay.
But when the mission was abandoned, you know, for almost 50 years, all signs of the graves or any indication were gone.
Okay.
When they came back in the 1890s, you know, and the Franciscans, and so they dedicated that to the native people, but then they began to use it as a regular cemetery.
Okay.
About 1895 or so.
Yeah, I was just looking at that marker right there with the, and it said, I think that was like the old part of the cemetery, and then like I guess all this is new.
And this is the second part.
Okay.
And that's really the third part.
Okay.
And this is mainly for the Franciscans.
Oh, okay.
There's another one for the Franciscans down there, but that was kind of full, and so they
built this area?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you.
Okay.
Yeah, so the friar was telling me that this area is the old part. I guess there's a crypt right here. Some old dates maybe. 1862 I see up there. So these are some old ones. Hey, it's a bottle of Coke right there. Very beautiful grave. Or cemetery, whatever. One day we'll all be here. Or turn to ash or something. Food for the worms. Here's the Indian Memorial. (1863), 1812. Beautiful mosaic right here. It's like a dove. Really nice, right here in the cemetery. All these trees have like wind chimes on them. There's no wind. Make our own wind. It's a cool statue. Looks like they just had a recent burial here, someone. All the names. Assumption of Mary, all-powerful God, you raised the sinless Virgin Mary, mother of your Son, body and soul, to the glory of heaven. May we see heaven as our final goal and come to share her glory. Heaven is the final goal. Hello. Morning. It's okay to talk
Yeah,
to you?
yeah.
So big. Hello. Is it open at 10?
Yes,
Okay.
the museum, yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Um, just exploring, really. I don't know.
I know.
What else can you tell me about this place?
Anything and most things.
Okay, because I...
This church itself is the original church
Okay.
because, well, it of course had to be repaired different times in a serious way,
Yeah.
but it was never taken down. But all the buildings that were connected with were taken down because the mission was abandoned.
Yeah. And,
And
then they
so-
started rebuilding it and stuff?
And so in the 1890s, the Franciscans came back from North California, and they rebuilt this building
This one? Okay.
and made that, you know, kind of the headquarters, the parish offices, and a community of Franciscans lived here, you know, and still lives here. You know?
Yeah, yeah. I see that there's like still like
Yeah,
spots
the
where they
second
can...
story is a retirement community for Franciscans.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to say this, but this is the best one.
That yeah, that's what I've heard because it's they say it's the biggest one.
It's the biggest one.
Yeah.
The church is the largest of all the missions, but this was the 18th mission of the missions in California,
What was the first one? Was the first one
in San Diego.
that one down San
Yeah.
Diego, right? Okay, that's the one I just went to.
San Diego de Alcalá.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a smaller one, but they're all really nice, and I like
Yeah,
the
well,
history
that-
of them.
And they were all Spanish
Yeah,
missionaries. See, at that time, Mexico was a Spanish colony.
yep, yeah, and then they were coming over, try to like influence like with like the church and everything, and try to like
Well, they
Try
wanted
to,
to,
like-
bring Christianity to the native people.
yeah, exactly.
And but also somewhat of modern civilization. You know,
Yeah, like
Uh,
building
growing
bricks and stuff.
building and different things,
Yeah, agriculture.
agriculture, and so you know the Spanish missionaries who came, and they went up to, you know, well, they went here, and then they went up to Carmel and started building, because they traveled a lot by the boat, you know.
Yeah, and it was hard for them to like, yeah.
And so then they
Did they made the road, right? The El Camino Real, or was it a trail or
El
something?
Camino Real, yeah.
The Royal Road or
Yeah,
the Road of the
wasn't-
King?
wasn't originally a trail.
Yeah. that's
You
what-
know, they founded the missions about 20, 30 miles apart.
Yeah. How long did it take for them to like build the first one, and do you know like the first one and like the last one?
I don't know exactly, but I think it took about 40 years.
40 years. Okay. Yeah, because I want to try to go all the way up to Sonoma
Yeah.
and go visit them all. And
Yeah.
that's what I'm
Well,
gonna
like, yeah, I've never been to the Sonoma one,
do. Okay.
but I was pastor in San Miguel Mission, and I also lived in San Juan Bautista
Okay.
for a time. And when I was in San Miguel, I used to go to San Antonio, you know, which is on a military base, you know,
Okay.
and Santa Barbara, of course, is very strong in the Franciscans. It's the only mission, I think, that was never abandoned.
Oh. Okay. That's interesting.
You know, yeah, and there, the Franciscans had school of theology, novitiate, for, you know, to young men who becoming Franciscans. But I went there first of all for my high school seminary. In those days, you know, in the 1950s, they had a high school seminary there, and so I lived there for 4 years to do my high school years.
Oh, okay. That's it. That's cool. So they have like a place
And
where you can
yeah,
study.
that was in the back of the mission. But then I came back later. I actually came here from my college. I don't know if you know this or not, but the back building was now a retreat house,
Oh, okay. No, I didn't know that.
was originally restored around, 1950s to be a college for young men who wanted to be Franciscans.
Oh, okay.
So I lived here from 4 years in 1956, actually, to 1961.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And then I went to Santa Barbara for my theological study.
Okay. That's neat that you can study at the missions and stuff. And
Yeah, well, like I say, it was, the president, what's his name? The famous president in the middle of the 1800s who was against the segregation. I want to say the name Roosevelt comes to my mind, but that's not it.
Roosevelt did like the parks and stuff.
Yeah, no, it was. But anyway, that's when California became a separate state and no longer connected to Mexico. And he wrote an edict that all the missions should be turned over to the Catholic Church.
Yeah.
And so this mission was turned over, and the Bishop of San Diego became kind of the owner of it, but he didn't have any priests to send here, and there was very little population, and so it was only in 1893, I think, or so, that the Franciscans came back here and came from Northern California, O'Keefe, and reactivated the mission.
That is amazing. Do you know how long like the mission was abandoned for? Like nobody
Well,
like how many?
almost 50 years.
50 years. Wow. And it was just here, just
Yeah,
Didn't know it.
well, actually, when the Mexico, of course, was a Spanish colony, but they revolted against the Spaniards and threw them out,
right.
and that kind of was a real push for the priests, the Spanish Franciscan missionaries who were living here, and so they went back to Spain. 1 year or so, a Mexican priest came and kind of took mission, but he left, and
Just
the mission was abandoned.
that is crazy.
And then, of course, people who were beginning to settle here, oh, well, we have tiles that we can take from those old buildings that they're not being used, or wooden beams and brick and so on.
right.
And so all the old buildings, except the church they left alone.
The insides too, like the inside of the church.
Yes.
Oh wow.
Well, I mean, it's obviously
Restored and stuff, yeah.
It had to be repaired seriously,
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah.
but no, the church, there wasn't enough respect for the building as a church,
That's good.
so they didn't.
Didn't touch it. Just let it go. That's crazy. Well, thank you for your time. I appreciate
Okay.
you. I heard that they back in the day in the 50s they filmed a Disney movie here, or
Yes.
Zorro or something.
But this is one of the things that I was never in a movie.
Yeah, it's just that's good that they brought like
Yeah, I
stuff
live,
here.
you know, after I was ordained a priest in 1964, I was sent all over the place, but especially to Native American reservations in Arizona.
Oh, okay.
And, you know, I didn't go see movies, you know, I lived out there and so actually I saw very few movies and I felt they were kind of artificial. And
Yeah, kind of not real.
So, not real. And so I never got into, oh, I want to see that. No.
Yeah, I have never seen it, but I just read about it that's happened here or something. But it's a very beautiful place. I love it.
Yeah.
When did they make that chapel parish over there?
I don't know exactly when that was built, but that was, you know, this is a very active parish.
Okay.
On the weekend, you know, we have 3 masses here in the mission,
Oh,
and we
okay.
have 5 masses in another church that's at the end of this parking lot to the left.
Okay.
You know, which is twice the size of the mission. You can, you know, put about double the population, you know.
Oh, wow.
And so, and those buildings are the office buildings and the meeting buildings
Okay.
for the parish. It is a very active parish.
That is neat. I like that it's coming back and like people are using it. And
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're using it very much. Of course, a good part of the parish is Spanish speaking. You know.
That's neat. You speak Spanish?
Sí,
Okay.
por supuesto, tenía que aprender para vivir como párroco en parroquias de hispanos.
Muy bien. I'm still learning. My Spanish is still a little bad, but I'm still learning.
One of my, not first, but that was actually my third, but assignment was to go to Delano, California, in the Central Valley,
Oh, okay.
and there was the Church of Our Lady Guadalupe in Delano, and most of the people who came there were farm workers, and so I had to learn Spanish.
Yeah,
I had to learn Spanish.
That's
too.
good.
And I was glad that I already knew a little bit because I had a couple years of Spanish in the seminary, but you know, to really preach
Get, like,
and
influenced in it,
understand
yeah.
and hear confessions and marriage and baptism.
Like have a full-on conversation with someone.
in Spanish.
Yeah.
I was at that time still relatively young, you know, and so it was easier to learn than now.
Yeah, I'm still learning. I sometimes when I'm driving, I'll just throw on a.
¿En cuántos años tienes?
Huh?
How old are you?
Oh, I'm 35.
35.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so
About you're still of an age when you can learn a lot.
yeah, it's just exploring right now. These are very interesting. I like the history of these missions.
The museum is open.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wanted to check out the.
time go by.
Let's go see the pepper tree.
O sea, se puede ir por todo el 78 y luego sí.
I guess this is one of the original archways to the mission. Oldest pepper tree. There. So that's supposedly the oldest pepper tree in California. And I hear the story of that pepper tree was brought over by like some Peruvian sailor, and he grew it in the boot of his shoe on his way over here. And from that pepper tree you get all these other pepper trees. We just made it into the museum part. Some old baskets they would make, the Indians. Ooh. Some jewelry. Fishing weights. Oh, fishing. These are bow and arrows. That's cool.
So it's officially February. That means we have half off when people present museum on the platform. If you want your passport, I think they still have some of the library.
Wax flower molds. Oh, here's like a diagram of the mission. There's the pepper tree right there. That's the cemetery area. Oh, neat. Let's go check it out and see. How cool would it be to have like an outfit like that? That's an old walking staff of the Padre. That's one of the originals. Original hat too. Nice sun hat. Gotta have your sun hats. Just look at these beams. Some coins in here. National Tribute, California's Apostle. This is their bed. This is what they used to sleep on. It's no sleep number bed, but probably gets the job done. You wake up with sore body. Look at this chair. What a nice chair. So here in the mission, they would make candles, make brandy, and just like build things, agriculture and bricks, kind of bring their inventions and way of living into this area of California, try and help the natives and live a better life. Maybe, but chest. I guess that's where they put all their garments in. Kitchen. Bunch of old cooking utensils, grinders and stuff. Table, keys. It's just a different way of living. Nice little courtyard right outside along the church right here. Some fountains going. Maybe make our way into the Franciscan room. Another little courtyard. Very beautiful mission here. Lots of open space, courtyards. Hardly anyone in the museum, which is nice. Take your time, not feel rushed. Sit here, relax, take in the sunshine. Very peaceful. Some statue up there. Carry on. The original bells. Interesting. Dang, look at this little bell. Oh, that's the courtyard, right? So this is like an active parish where people come study and stuff. Some old grinding stones. Look at that. Put your bread in there. Mission gargoyle. Branding. Measuring meter. Some lances and swords. Here's a picture of what the mission looked like when it was abandoned. So here are some documents signed by Abraham Lincoln returning the mission to the Catholic Church. And you can see Abraham Lincoln's signature right on there. timeline.
More marriages and baptisms were performed in San Luis Rey than any other mission. Domesticated livestock reached a level of nearly 60,000 head as a grain production peaked at 67,000 bushels. A massive construction program took place. Buildings were not renovated, which made this mission the largest structure in all of Latin America. The walls.
Another bell along the El Camino Rio bell. We go down over here. Supposedly it's some laundry area where they used to do laundry back in the day. Check it out, see what we can find down here. Come down here to do your laundry. They would have like water going through these canals and stuff. Very smart. Or hey, gotta have those clean clothes. More pepper trees. Come down here and wash. Oh, there's the gargoyle mouth right there. So water would flow through these canals out of that gargoyle mouth, and then I guess you'd wash your clothes down in this area. Come down here and do your laundry. Nice little trail down there. There's an old olive press. They press the olives and get all the olive oil out of there. And then over here on this one was the mill grinding stone. There's a lizard down there catching some sun.